Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to what is a Duping the Vibes palette. As you have seen from the title and maybe from the color story that's on my table, today we are duping the vibes of the Colourpop Lush Life palette. Now, I love the color story. It's probably one of the most beautiful palettes they have brought out recently, and I am really tempted to buy it actually, like right now. So I'm gonna do this first and then see if I'm gonna buy it. The problem with duping the vibes right now, and for this palette at least, is that I love the packaging. It's so beautiful, so me. I don't know. I am really tempted. So I'm gonna do this first and then see if I'm gonna buy it or not. Play around. I'm gonna do this first, play around with the colors and see if I'm gonna buy it or not, because I literally have 5 days before customs start slamming on products from abroad, and I don't think it will reach in time. So it's gonna be a heavy, expensive palette if I do decide to buy it. So let's, fingers crossed, I can dupe it. Let's get into it. I am going off of the swatches by Colourpop Trend and Colourpop Me, and I hope that that is gonna be a good enough approximation. And I of course want to start with the fun colors. So we have a matte green, and let me take out my greens right here, and my Makeup Geek Matrix palette, because it has a lot of very beautiful colors that could fit in here. But it looks like it's like a very nice forest matte green. And I have a few in my palette. This guy right here is Conjure Up from Colourpop, which could actually be a bit too teal for it. I have this guy right here, which I think is an Inglot eyeshadow, number 333. Indeed, this looks quite close, because I don't have anything like one step deeper than this. I think the Makeup Geek green is slightly more muted, I feel like. So maybe it's the Inglot that is the closest right now. And then there is a matte green, and it's not like the usual deep matte. Thank you, motorcycle. It's not the usual deep matte green like Makeup Geek Epic that I always use. It's a little bit lighter and a little bit cooler toned. And I have this guy right here, which swatches horribly. What is it? Makeup Geek Voodoo. Oh, this is a pigment that I pressed myself. And it's quite a bright green eyeshadow, but I feel like I should have something a little bit deeper. And actually, now that I think about it, I don't want a simple shimmer at all. I'm gonna pull out all of my interesting textures eyeshadows that I have here on the side and see if I can find actually a nice fun green to add here that is not a simple shimmer, because why not? Why not? Here I have my Devinah Cosmetics, Tammy Tanuka Multichrome, some Glamshop here. I have more Tammy Tanuka here and more Glamshop here. So I'm gonna see if I can find a nice green that fits with the swatch, but that has a more interesting texture and something like that. This one is a bit too teal. This is the Glamshop Velvet Shadow, and this guy right here is also a Glamshop shadow, but this is a more traditional shimmer, and this is way too dark, definitely. What I'm thinking actually is, wouldn't it be cool to have a multi-chrome green here that shifts green to more blue? And this is Tammy Tanuka in the shade Awakening, and this goes in all sorts of green directions with the blue, and I think this could be like, if there's a tropical shadow, I would probably put this one in. I'm happy with that choice. Other option would be something like Clionadh Cosmetics Patina. That is also absolutely beautiful, but it's more, yeah, I don't know. This is more, it's more tropical to me, so I'm gonna put that one to the side. While we're here dealing with crazy shimmers, let me also go into the more, what is it, lime green shimmer shadow that is in the palette. And I have this guy right here from Devinah Cosmetics, for example, which is a beautiful light green. It could be maybe a little bit too light. This is the shade, I think, Orion. Yes, from one of the more recent collections they've had out. Let me see. From Tammy Tanuka I have this guy, which is really nice as well, but it's more yellow, I feel like, than the one in the palette. So I think I'm gonna stick with Orion. There we go. And to be honest, I'm a bit surprised of the Colourpop palette itself, because I think the shade they put in looks really a lot like Mary Jane, which was in the original, the first 9-pan green palette, and it's a pretty lime shade. I don't know, maybe it's a bit greener than this, but it's, I don't know, it wasn't really that surprising, like not that new of a color from what I see. Moving on from the greens then to the blues, there is one blue matte, and I think that I'm gonna pick colored Raine Yatch Life. This is from their Vivid Pigments line, and it is the perfect blue. And this performs also amazing. The ones in the Makeup Geek are, this is a bit more teal, this one is a bit more muted. You see, it's not really the right blue, like tropical blue. So I'm gonna go with Yatch Life by Colored Raine. And then I think we're ready to move into the more normal colors. Well, that was anticlimactic. Indeed, these are the shades that actually attracted me to the palette the most, but let's move on to the more normal colors. There's a pale yellow, and I think this one from Makeup Geek could be an option, but I think it's a little bit more pigmented than this. I don't want to say it's like chickadee, but actually, yeah, it looks like chickadee. So I think I'm gonna pick that one. Fits also really nicely from what I see right here. Then there is a little bit of a more corally shade that is a bit on the lighter side. It's not a very deep coral, and I am wondering what could be similar from what I have. It's the shade called Guava. This one could be a good option from Makeup Geek. It looks similar, but maybe I have actually something in my coral palette that looks a little bit similar and isn't as pink. So this one is Makeup Geek Summer Loving, or Colored Raine Crushing could be an option. Oh, this is really neon actually. Maybe a bit too much actually compared to the one in the palette. This guy right here. Oh, this looks like the closest. I think it's something, yeah, it's Makeup Geek Poppy. I think I've been using that one a lot for this type of shades. There's also an even more muted, which is Makeup Geek Pumpkin. Either of these would work, I think. I might decide depending on how the palette looks actually. And then there is also a coral orangey shimmer, and for this one I do want to go into my special shades and see if I can find something fun for it. The shade is a bit of a hot orange with the gold sheen on top, it seems, from swatches. And I have this guy right here that's called Centaurus from Devinah Cosmetics, which could be something similar. It has a little bit of an orange and gold shift. This could be fun to use. The shade Lynx, no, the shift is a bit too greeny gold, I think. This is Clionadh Cosmetics Torch, and this is a orange to pink shift. This could be fun actually. And it is a dupe for this shade right here, which I could choose just because it is a round pan. And this is the shade Sinuous from Devinah Cosmetics. I think I'm gonna go with this one right here. I think the orange is a little bit stronger there. Then there is a very light yellow shade, and I actually want to use this one right here from Devinah Cosmetics. This is the shade Vela, which is a beautiful shifty shadow, and it has the most beautiful light yellow base, but with pink and some green shift in there as well. It may be like not completely in duping the same as the one in the palette, but I think it's super beautiful. And yeah, better than the one in the palette. Then there is a greeny gold, and I have quite a few shades in this family. I was also just now looking at, for example, Ornament by Glamshop right here. It's just a beautiful gold. This guy right here, which is Fortune Teller, is probably a bit warmer of a gold. Yeah, more of a like a proper gold. I also have the shade Foililng from Clionadh Cosmetics, which could be a really fun addition here. Oh yeah, I think this one will be beautiful. It's so shifty. I am so excited. This palette is going to be awesome. The other option is Corrosion by Clionadh Cosmetics, but I think I think Foililng will look better or fit better in here. We still have one matte shade, which looks like a very like intense terracotta. And to be honest, I am unsure on what to pick for here because I have a lot of intense terracotta shades in my collection. Let me see if I can find something really fun for here, like more of an orangey one, maybe. It has a touch of red, I feel like, in there. Ah, I think this one is the one, and I bet it's Cannonball. No, it's Crisscross. Cannonball is this more orangey one. Crisscross from Colourpop is a beautiful, more reddy terracotta shade, so I think I'm gonna go with that one. And to put the orange palette away, I wish they also put something like this in there. It really, really inspires me in place of this more shifty shade, maybe. Because that one, it shifts quite pink, and I'm afraid then it won't fit as much. Yeah, let's remove this. I think the shift is too pink for this palette, and I prefer to keep it a bit more on the orange side. I should have put that orange in, shouldn't I? And pick one of these two corally shades to put in. Probably would go with some Poppy by Makeup Geek. It's a little bit more bright of a coral. What I'm left with choosing now, I think, is just the neutrals. So let me find those. There's a neutral matte that is like a deep, very neutral brown, I think. Maybe even a touch cool tone, but neutral. I'm thinking of either this shade from Makeup Geek. This one maybe a little bit light. This one. Or this one. Some options. Or from my neutral palette, let's see, what else do I have here that could fit? Yeah, the good old Makeup Geek Mocha, which swatches like a dream. Could be the answer, but I think also one of these two would work. We have Espresso Yourself. Maybe I should actually try to get them to swatch a bit more intense. And this one is Dark Roasted. But actually the undertone of Espresso Yourself is probably the right one. So I'm gonna add this one right here, and actually kind of looks good with it. And then there is a shimmery brown, which is interesting. It looks different in every picture, and it's very difficult to find the undertone of it. I do kind of want to look if I can find something sparkly and interesting instead of the usual brown shadows, because we have enough brown shimmer. So let's bring something interesting to the table. This is Macadamia by Glamshop, and it might be a little too warm. It has some beautiful shifts to it. This one also seems a bit warm. This one is Herbarts by Glamshop. I mean, I could also just go holo. Could we go holo? This is Golden Holo by Glamshop. I think the one I want to pull out is this one right here, which is Bedding of the Bride by Tammy Tanuka, which I pressed myself, and it kind of looks good with the undertone of the matte. And now that I look at it, to be honest, I feel like we're missing a yellow. I think this should be a yellow and not an orangey shade. Okay, the website of Colourpop actually shows a completely different shadow, so I think I'm gonna take out Macadamia by Glamshop because I love that shadow, and it maybe looks similar to the one in the Colourpop palette. It's really difficult to understand, to be honest. They are so photoshopped as shades. But I think we have all of the shades right now. Or I have a shade too many. I have a shade too many. Which one too many do I have? Let me arrange it and see what's wrong. As I was saying, I think this one is the right shade to dupe the palette, but I wish there was a yellow, like a bright yellow. How do we feel about this? Much brighter, probably would suit better with those green, those brights as well. But this will make it more wearable. I'm gonna give it a whirl like this. It's closer to the palette, and it kind of brings it a little bit of a muter tone. Okay, here we have it in my palette, and I'm gonna try swatching it for you and see how it looks all together, shall we? Okay, and here is the palette, and I have to say I am quite underwhelmed. It feels a little schizophrenic and not really tropical. So I'm gonna rearrange it, or like redo it, as I would do a tropical palette, because I am not satisfied with this whatsoever. Okay, to redo this palette, I'll take out the shades that I do think are good. These that scream tropics to me. As I said, I'd probably throw in a yellow, and I might actually throw in this yellow. This is Glamshop Flare, which is a newer shade from them. I'm gonna throw in this coral, which is a little bit more muted. This is Peach for the Stars by Makeup Geek. The shade Tiki Hut as a neutral transition I think will look great with this. It will fit with these, it fits with the yellow. I like that. I do like crisscross in here relatively. I don't want a warm neutral, like at all, in there. I don't think it's necessary or fitting. And I'll throw the shade Lynx in here for a like inner corner highlight rather than whatever I had in before. I need to think about this light green shade. I mean, this one is very pretty, but is it green enough? Is it tropical enough? Maybe. And I need 2 more shades. Arranging them by color family really helps me out usually, and I feel like indeed something on the something to go with the blue could be good. Let's see if I can put that one in. That is Glamshop Bliskotka. How does this look with it? This is, sorry, Lethal Cosmetics Lucid. Does this work? I think this works better. I did swatch pretty much any shadow that I had that was on the blue, in the blue family, and I have actually quite a bit of like not perfect or discontinued shadows in the blue family. Maybe this one would have also gone. This is Makeup Geek blew my mind. This guy right here actually probably looks better like this. Now this is a Tropic palette, if I can say so myself. Here we are. I rearranged it so that it's the right way up for you guys, and I'm gonna start swatching it. And this makes me feel so much better about a tropical palette. And here we go. This is my tropical palette. I like it better. It's a bit brighter, it's a little bit more special shades, and this is my tropical palette. There we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go play with it. I'm happy. This kind of makes me happy. It's my type of shades. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you're purchasing or you have already purchased this palette, which one of the two versions you like the most, or maybe Colourpop's original version that I didn't tweak. And yeah, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.